Well, we are officially at the halfway point in the Premier League season for everyone except for two teams. That's neither here nor there. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from this week. It's again two friends who support different clubs, though it's two different friends. This week it's the Champions of London edition. It's me, James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. Last week it was the North London edition. This week it's the teams in London that are effective at winning trophies. Brad, how are you this?
Things,
yes, exactly. How are you this week, Brad?
Listen, when you asked me 4 weeks ago, are Chelsea in the title race? And then you answered for me yes, and I was like, I don't know. Sure, by position and form, but like I don't know because our defense is not like our attack is ready, our midfield is ready, our defense is not ready.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to dissect that.
I'm feeling decent
in just a little bit. If you are new here, if you just stumbled across this first, thanks so much for clicking on this video, clicking on this podcast. We really do appreciate it. If you could hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell if you're on YouTube. If you're on one of the podcast sites, follow, 5-star review, make it your New Year's resolution to listen to Red Card Radio every week when it drops, and listen all the way to the end and hit that share button. All those things really do help us out tremendously. So, we are at the halfway point in the season, essentially. Of course, the Merseyside derby was postponed because it was a little bit windy a few weeks ago. And so, though the two Liverpool outfits, Everton and Liverpool themselves, are only on 18 games played. And interestingly enough, this would have been a really effective time for me to pull up the Premier League table, but I have not updated it in my file system. So we're just going to skip right on over that. And I think, and you can tell me if you think this is a bad idea, Brad, but I think because Sean is not here, because our resident Tottenham Hotspur supporter isn't here, that we should start first with Tottenham hosting Wolves from the White Hart Lane.
You do not have to convince me. I am down. Let's talk Spurs ball, because this is fun now. This year's fun to talk about Spurs ball. I enjoy this now.
What makes it the most fun for you, Brad?
Oh, Chelsea's finally back above them on the table.
So what's kind of humorous about this match is that Spurs get down very early in this match. Spoiler alert, the game ends 2-2. Spurs go down 1-0 in the 7th minute, essentially, and they respond pretty quickly, 12th minute, and then they go into halftime up 2-1. So you're thinking Spurs at home against this Wolves team, they've been dreadful all year, up 2-1. You should win that game, right? Well,
yeah, but
they didn't, right?
It's Spursy.
Yes. So this is it caps off a torrid run of form that they're on. They in their last 5 matches, they've picked up 4 points. So one win. Their win was against, who was their win against? Their win was against Southampton. They've lost to Chelsea. They've lost to Liverpool. They've lost to Forest, and now they've drawn Wolves. So their last 5 is looking quite bad. They've got Newcastle next. So this leaves them languishing in 11th place. They are.
Hey, wait. This result, the draw they did gain a position.
True.
Over Brentford.
Yes. But that was due only to goal difference because their goal difference is so good.
Yes.
So Spurs are 11th. And this has kind of been the season of Spurs giving up leads, not holding on to leads, and squandering points. And I think this has created quite a bit of unrest in the Tottenham camp between fans, supporters. We've seen this a little bit at some of the grounds when Spurs drop points and there's booing of the team. There's Ange going over and having conversations with people in the crowd. And it kind of left us with this question that we're wondering is like, what are the expectations for Tottenham? What what realistically should have been their expectations coming into the year. Are those expectations still attainable? How should we assess this team?
So I mean, as a Tottenham fan, if I could put myself in that shirt for a minute, and realistic fan, right? Like we'll take the Sean approach, right?
Yeah,
Not the no hope, but we'll take the realistic approach where he doesn't pick them to win the league.
Sean tends to be very fair, I think.
I'd say top 4, top 5, like battling for top 4
Yeah,
would probably be fair because
I generally agree with you that the expectation of a realistic Spurs supporter would be fighting for the top 4 this season.
yeah, 100%. Like because I don't think as a realistic Spurs supporter that you think you're better than Liverpool, you think you're better than City, you think you're better than Arsenal. I think you should probably be competing with Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, right? Like that would be the tier, right? Like,
I think that's a very fair representation of it.
And I mean, truth be told, they're 2 spots down from Villa, but they're 8 points from Newcastle and 11 points from Chelsea, and like that gap feels huge.
Yeah, I mean, like as an Arsenal supporter, we're effectively 9 points off of Liverpool for first, and that feels like a mountain.
Right.
And there's no teams in between us. It's just Liverpool, Arsenal, and like I think that's a mountain that I'm not sure we'll be able to overcome in the second half of the season. But 11 points, and there's like 8 teams between you and where you want to be.
Yeah.
Or is it 6? 2, 4, 6. It's 6 teams. Excuse me. I miscounted. That seems like an astronomical mountain. And so, if Spurs fans, realistic Spurs expectations for this season were 4th place, or at least fighting for 4th place, they're miles off it. Like, so
okay,
sure. Where does that leave them? Like
so, but here's the question, right? Here's the question though.
Yeah.
Would the Spurs fan base take the League Cup in 11th place?
Well, I asked Sean that last week, and the League Cup is European football now, right? And
correct.
And so I feel like you kind of have to.
And like, literally, what was it? Hold on, I think I have it saved. Yep. Tottenham Hotspur's trophy count. 16. We're going on 17 years. And the last time they won was the League Cup.
And obviously, you would just continue to say yes to that if you got more prestigious in trophies. So like FA
correct.
Cup and 11th is obviously a yes, because it's even higher tier of European football. Europa League and 11th, that's an absolute yes. Like that's a hands down yes. Because that's Champions League, European trophy. Like that's everything that Spurs want.
Now Europa League and 11th you take. 100%.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you would.
That's Champions League ball.
Yeah, you would murder people for that if you're a Spurs fan. But the question would rather be, do you think this Spurs team can do that? And my gut reaction is yes, because I think the Spurs team is good.
Probably. Who are they playing in the League Cup? Because like we're in the semis, right?
They have Liverpool. They have Liverpool in the League Cup.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. Sean's very pessimistic about it. But I guess maybe my broader question is, if Spurs finish 8th and they don't win a trophy, do you think that Levy will ditch Ange?
So I think depending on the Tottenham Liverpool match a week from when we are recording, I think that's going to decide a ton whether Ange gets more time or not. Wow.
You think if Liverpool blow out Tottenham in the first leg of the semifinal, in the first leg of the semifinal, that they would sack Ange?
I think he wouldn't. I think if the run of form continues after that, he wouldn't make it to the February 6th one. Let me say it that way. I don't think he would be sacked in the tunnel. But I think over the next couple of matches, well, you can't win the trophy now.
Interesting.
Because like, how far down are they in Europa?
I think
I probably should have had all this data beforehand, but
I think they're close. I think they're in the definitely qualify, but just outside maybe they're in the qualify at the top 8.
They are 9th. United is 7th.
Okay, so they're in the qualify for round of 24, just outside the bye to round of 16.
Correct.
And so if they win their next 2 matches, they'll probably get a bye to the round of 16.
Wait, are there any more matches? 6 games.
They
No, you play 6
You should
games.
play 8. You should play 8.
Is it?
In the new league format, you play 8 games in the league format.
Okay. Doesn't
So
really,
yeah,
like.
because Chelsea still have the traditional
Oh, yeah, it
groups.
is 8.
You still have the
No,
traditional groups, right? Is there a
no.
league? There's a league play in the
Table.
conference league.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know.
But I thought it was 6 matches. Maybe it's 6 matches there. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't think Ange gets sacked that quickly. I kind of feel like there is a distinct possibility that Ange could be sacked, but I think it's kind of like March. If the season is so far gone, it doesn't look like they're going to be challenging. I don't know. Actually, I'm not even sure, man. They could, because Levy legitimately thinks that this team is good enough, regardless of all other context, right? Like, it doesn't matter that
Yeah.
he saddled this team with only 3 senior center backs. It doesn't matter that they've had crazy injuries this year. Levy probably still expects them to be in the Champions League.
Probably. And I mean, I guess we'll see how they spend in January.
They're not going to. You know, Spurs aren't going to.
I'm with you. And if you're sacking him, you don't. But at the same time, like, okay, so let's go through. Madison was bought for him.
Well, but the problem is I'm not even sure that any players were specifically bought for Ange, because I'm fairly certain that's not the way that Spurs do their business anymore. But
so based on what Ange has said in his press conferences, is that every player that's been signed he's signed off on.
A player that he's been okay with. Sure, yeah. I could buy that. I could buy that sentiment.
But if you're trying to win things, why are you signing children? Like, look, Chelsea's trying to build. Like, we were rebuilding the roster, so we were buying kids, and that's the strategy we're going forward with. We're gonna buy a bunch of kids with a bunch of potential. 2 or 3 years, we'll be top, and then we can add in the 1 or 2 pieces, and we'll sell the kids that don't make it, and we'll still make money off of them. Like, that's the Chelsea blueprint right now. Spurs are trying to copy that, but not go all the way in.
Yeah,
kind of.
I'm not even sure what the Spurs plan is, what the Spurs model is.
I mean, that's always kind of been the question, right? It's like, what, like, Levy's about making money, and like Spurs make money, but they don't win anything.
They make money because they have a giant stadium. They sell
correct
concerts and NFL there. They're not like footballing wise commercially viable as compared to like Arsenal or Manchester United or Liverpool or even Chelsea. I'm sure Chelsea have a much bigger brand identity than Tottenham do.
Well, and especially like I know we used to make the joke Chelsea has no history, but like all the kids going up now, have seen Chelsea winning things. So like, our brand, I think our brand is much larger.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's without debate. At least in kind of the last 25 years, which is kind of all that really matters. I don't know. That's an interesting question. I think I'd like to hear from you guys, see what you guys think.
Yeah.
Do you see a world where Ange gets sacked before the season's over? Do you think Ange gets next season if Spurs don't reach their goals? I think it's really kind of a tenuous situation there. If his seat isn't hot, I definitely think there is some smoldering fire just under the surface there. Because I'm trying to think about like other managers, and I mean, Wolves sacked their manager, Southampton sacked their manager, Leicester sacked their manager. I don't think Ipswich will sack Kieran McKenna. I don't think there's a world where that happens. Crystal Palace, Crystal Palace just signed Glasner less than a year ago, so I don't think they sack him. United sacked their manager. West Ham could sack Lopetegui, and after that, like, there's no way Brentford's sacking, Brighton's not sacking, Villa's not sacking. So I don't know. Like,
not sacking. Bournemouth's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think that like Ange might be on the hottest seat in the league right now.
Yeah.
It's an interesting situation.
Well, Dyche, hold on. Everton have him, and the reason being Everton has been purchased.
True. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Right. So like you have new owners and like
there's different factors there.
Correct. Is Sean Dyche good enough to keep Everton up? Probably. I mean, this race is spicy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wolves picked up a big point, right? They picked up a big point. Leicester keeps this is.
You want to talk about picking up big points? Ipswich. Ipswich
Picked
picked
up
up 3, a bag full of points, a
a
bag full
whole
of
points.
all of the points you could possibly pick up against
All of the
none
points.
other than title challengers Chelsea.
Yeah, like I said, told you then. I didn't think we were challenging for the title. We're definitely challenging for top 4, probably maybe top 3. But we were title challengers.
Yeah,
And when we sat down 3 weeks ago and you said, "Hey Brad, these next 6 games were a city. What do you think?" I said 18 points.
you did say that. That's
I
true.
said it with my whole chest too, right? Like I didn't even hesitate. I was like, "Of course we're going to beat Everton." Nope, draw. Of course we're going to beat Fulham. Nope, 2-1, last second winner at the bridge. Of course we're going to absolutely smash Ipswich. What?
Yeah,
Nope.
that's a
Up and
crazy
out.
one. Now we have been debating before the podcast started about that
Yes.
penalty. You're convinced
Michael Oliver is up there now. In
is
terms
is
of he should not be on the VAR for Chelsea. He's got Chelsea hatred. He's
is
got
he
London hatred.
is he up there with your Anthony Taylor hatred?
No, he's second. He's
Oh,
second.
okay, second.
Second.
Yeah. So penalty given in the 10th minute, VAR checks
Good
it,
enough.
and they don't overturn it, right?
Now listen, no, I can understand why VAR didn't overturn it. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because you and I were arguing whether there was a touch or not. Right? And so
One of us was arguing erroneously, but that's okay.
right, the one wearing pink. You guys should really watch the YouTube channel. Give us a like, hit that subscribe button so you can tell that one of us is wearing pink and one of us is wearing blue. Which we didn't plan that, Sean. When you watch this, we didn't plan to be wearing these.
Yeah, I guess the reason why Sean's not here this week is there was a family event where pink and blue are important colors. And
not his event.
Not his. No,
not his event.
A family.
Not his event. A family event.
Family event.
But
that's funny that just happened. I almost picked a different jersey when I was going through my closet, and I was like, oh wait, I haven't worn this one yet. So,
and so like, if we are this inconclusive, right? Then there isn't enough evidence for VAR to overturn the call, no matter what the call was on the field.
Yeah, for sure.
So they stuck with the call on the field. So I hate you, Michael Oliver, but like I get it. Like, cool, fine, whatever. But then VAR overturns the João Felix, but couldn't draw lines because there was inconclusive data. Wait. Why didn't we stick with the call on the field then? Call on the field was a goal. Why do we flip the script 14 minutes later?
I don't know if either one of us know definitively in this moment whether or not the linesman would have given offside on the João Felix one, because neither one of us saw it live. We didn't, in the replays and stuff like that aren't showing us enough information. So it's entirely possible that it was flagged for offside and the VAR didn't overturn that because they couldn't draw lines. But
it said overturned on the other. When I watched it, overturned, no goal.
Sure, but they always give the goal with the caveat that we think it's offside. Check the offside. Anyway,
it's just funny. One was inconclusive, and we stuck with the call on the field. One was inconclusive, and we didn't stick with the call on the field.
I think the bigger issue for you is that your center back made a beautiful square ball pass in stride to. Oh, he was playing right back.
He's playing right back.
Oh well, that might be why.
No, it doesn't matter where you play him. He is a disaster.
That was
waiting to happen.
It was a beautiful pass to the Ipswich player.
He used to play striker back in the youth days.
Maybe you should run him out there. He is an oaf. There's no way he could move fast enough to be a striker.
And then so he gives a gift of a pass to Dilip to start the fast break, and then doesn't close down Amari Hutchinson. Just lets Amari Hutchinson have a free shot at the net.
How do you feel about that, Amari? How do you feel about that Hutchinson celebration?
He never put on the jersey, bro.
Okay.
What you mean?
Okay.
Listen, he is a Cobham graduate. Yes.
No,
we made money off of him. Yes.
He's not a Cobham graduate.
He came to Cobham and played for the U21s, therefore U23s. Therefore, it makes him a Cobham graduate.
No, he's a Hale End graduate, and you know that.
Either way. No, because we still signed him as a youth product, sir. Because y'all let him go. Y'all couldn't re-sign him. because there was no pathways at Arsenal for him to play.
I mean,
Sorry, that's
it's
it
not
just
wrong.
makes I know, but like if you're going to not get playing time at Arsenal as a youth academy product, why would you then go to Chelsea?
Yeah, that was a death knell.
Right? Like that's what I was laughing. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
He would have gotten more
But
playing
hey,
time. He would have gotten more playing
20
time at Arsenal.
probably 20,
Maybe,
30 mil we'll pick up, I think is what it is, plus a sell on clause. Maybe
anyway,
they took a change on. But anyways, sure, celebrate. Like you never put on the shirt. You want to celebrate your goal? Cool. I'm
yeah,
cool with players celebrating goals. Like
yeah.
unless you are like
Even
Frank Lampard,
even
right?
even Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz can go.
Right, watch your words. Remember, we're trying to avoid that explicit tag.
I did.
You might-
I did see my eyes go. Can't say that. Look, Kai Havertz is not a club legend. He just happened to be the one to score the goal.
He scored an incredibly important goal, but yes,
He
he's
scored an incredibly important goal.
not a club legend. I agree with you.
Correct. Not now. At the same token, though, Thiago Silva, I would classify as a club legend.
I think that's a mistake personally, but whatever. You can claim your own legends.
Which I know, right? I know. I'm like, I understand what you're saying because it was such a short term and like it was at the end of his career. But like, homie embraced Cobham like nobody, like not like nobody else, but like he embraced Cobham and the Chelsea fans and everything
Sure.
significantly more.
I mean, David Luiz did very similar when he came to Arsenal. Like he absolutely ingratiated himself to the club and like
Yeah, but we won things.
okay, it was our banter era. Yeah, obviously Chelsea are fighting for top 4. It's a fluke result. It's one of those results you don't expect, but you guys have played
just-
1,000 games in November and December, so
Yes, I know, and like it's just that these 3 results, 3 in a row. Had you played these same 3 games over again,
yeah.
the same exact formation, same exact ref, same exact player, same exact everything, we win them all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
And so like it just kind of is what it is. And let's get these growing pains out the way. We have a young manager, we have a young team. Is this going to happen? Yes. Does it suck? Yes. Should Disasi be wearing a Chelsea jersey? No. Amari Hutchinson should still be wearing a Chelsea jersey over Disasi, and Amari can play right back.
Do we need to say anything about Liverpool? They won 5-0 against West Ham.
No, they just keep on knocking in goals. Like, how did Lopetegui survive 5-0?
Because it's Liverpool,
At
man.
home.
It's Liverpool. No one cares. Like,
Yeah, but that sounds like there was no effort. This sounds like Gary O'Neill Wolves.
I'm not. I don't think that there was no effort. I think it was just kind of a little bit of just like a rapid fire situation where they just kind of poured it on in a kind of a concise period of time, and just kind of got out of hand quickly. We were going to say nothing about it, and here we are saying things about it.
Of course we are.
Do we need to say anything about Brentford Arsenal?
No, y'all won. Y'all did what you were supposed to do.
Absolutely, great
It took
game.
a while, but then y'all did what you're supposed to do.
We went down early, and Mbeumo had a great goal. Poor defense on our part, but it was a good goal. And then Arsenal came back. We scored 3 decent goals, and it is what it is. Scored off another corner.
Of course you did.
Hey man, don't
FC.
Don't knock it till you rock it. Do we need a spare word for Manchester United though?
I mean, Newcastle did they thing and won, and it's like he's setting himself up well to be like, hey, there is too many problems for me to be able to fix. We just trying to survive this year.
Yeah, that's the thing about it is that, and this is the point I've kind of been trying to make about Ruben Amorim, is that he is playing with house money. Because if he succeeds at Manchester United and gets United back to where they expect to be, he's a legend. And if he fails, well, so did Jose. So did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So did Louis van Gaal. So did
Hold on.
all of them.
Jose won a Europa League trophy there.
Okay, ask Manchester United supporters if they think that his time was successful.
Oh, I'm with you. I understand.
Okay. But that's my
Again,
point.
but this is the same. I think our conversation earlier with Tottenham fans, right? As a Manchester United fan, are you really expecting top 4?
Yes. Absolutely.
Ow.
Because they're delusional, but also because like their squad is okay. On paper, coming into the season, I didn't think their squad was as bad as it is. It's much worse than I thought it was. But I also have to deal with the fact that Manchester United play up like 3 levels when they play against Arsenal. So like it's just a different beast when they play against Arsenal.
Right. I
But
mean, whenever any top six
no, it's
club.
specifically United against Arsenal. There's different. They're like we'll see in the FA Cup in like 2 weeks time. It's a different beast. Um,
But the
but
same animal.
their team is not as good as I thought it was, and it's just showing. And obviously, Ten Hag is dreadful the right word? He's a dreadful coach. He
Hold on.
has no
We
accountability. He throws everyone else under the bus. He's just really bad man management. He ran the greatest football player who to ever live out of the club. Um, yes, that was a subtle say that I think Ronaldo's better than Messi. Personally, it's a personal
Wow.
opinion. And yeah, it just I they're just not very good. And Newcastle are very good. Newcastle have good players who work really, really hard. Could you imagine if Newcastle in the summer kind of revamp their defense a little bit, get a little bit younger, get a little bit faster on
Feel a bit
defense?
healthier.
Like their midfield is fantastic. Their attack is fantastic.
Yeah.
They have a great goalkeeper in Nick Pope. If they replace Trippier and get like some decent halfbacks and get some nice young center backs, like they could be.
Or they're just I think
They
what
could
you
be.
would hear is that they're healthy.
I know
They
that's
do
what
need another back, but
I know that's what Joel would say, but I think he would also agree that they could improve in those positions as well.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Newcastle are doing great. They are absolutely in the hunt for the top four. Um, absolutely in it. They're playing.
As they should be,
Sure,
right?
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I think after the traditional top six, traditional, the Premier League traditional top six.
The
There we
big
go. Once
six, the big
yes, the big
six.
six. That Newcastle's the one knocking on the door.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Newcastle and Villa. It used to be
Yeah,
West Ham used to be up there, but I don't think West Ham's up there anymore.
and Leicester was before that.
Yeah, Leicester was a weird one because they definitely punched above their weight for a couple years there.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and here's to rewind back to it being West Ham and Villa, right? That were kind of and Newcastle. All three of them have suffered the same thing. They got European football, didn't have the roster to play like that, and then failed. And now they're not in Europe, and they're performing better. Where Villa's performing worse.
mhm.
West Ham's just became
And
a dumpster fire.
we see Forest is up in third right now. Like, could Forest be that non traditional Big Six team that makes it into the Champions League for next year, or Europa League or
Some
whatever?
sort of yeah,
Let's specifically say the Champions League because for the last 2 seasons it was Newcastle and last year it was Villa. If it's Forest and they end up fourth, like they will probably suffer the same fate that Villa are suffering this year
yeah,
and that Newcastle suffered last year. Is that like it's exceptionally difficult to go from no European football to any European football
yes,
and maintain the same levels in the league,
yes,
especially for some of these middle-sized Premier League outfits, because it's so much harder to increase the quality of your depth. That's the
yes,
bigger issue. It's not necessarily how good your starting 11 is, but how good your second 11 is, and making sure that
correct.
you have a quality 22 players instead of like a quality 16 players.
And then how do you keep them all healthy and happy?
Yeah.
Like,
So, and there's just a lot more mental load on traveling into Europe
yep,
every week. And like you're in more hotels, you're traveling more, you're less time at home, less time with your family, all this stuff. It just kind of compounds on itself.
yep. And it's
So,
so many more games. Like I
yeah.
think if Chelsea make the finals for everything, it's including the Club World Cup, it's like 75 games in
Yeah,
a
I
calendar
believe
year.
it.
Like
I
like
believe it.
it's
Well, you
ridiculous.
think about with just the games you're guaranteed at the start, and then you lose everything. So 38 for the Premier League,
Yep.
eight for Europa. That's 46 plus two each for the cup. You're already at 48 games,
Yep.
and obviously you've played more. In obviously you can't play the maximum because you're out of the Carabao Cup.
Correct. But
But FA
okay,
Cup
cool.
you
So
can make
we
it go.
saved what, 2 games?
Yeah, well,
Three games?
probably like 5 games. I don't remember when you guys
Okay.
got knocked out. When did you guys get knocked out? It wasn't the
Last
quarterfinals.
year.
It was the round before
That
the
was right
quarterfinals,
before
right?
that. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was one,
2, 3,
two,
4.
three,
Four
four
games.
games. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, this is podcast math.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. I think that's all we have for right now. Check back tomorrow. So this is kind of a shortened week. The holiday New Year's kind of had us a little bit messed up with our recording schedule. So this is dropping a day later than it normally does, and our preview will still though be on Friday. We will have a preview of round 20 for you, and that's where we will go over the points for our picks. You'll find out how everyone's done over the last 2 weeks, and we'll get an updated point total. There has been some movement in the points table, in the league table. So you'll want to definitely stick around and come back tomorrow for that. Hit us up on social media. That guy's at KSBradG everywhere. I am at James Tiffany. Sean, who is absent this week, is at Whiteheart_Sean. You can reach us collectively at redcard_radio. And we look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow. Hope you all have a good one, and we'll see you soon.